Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
A little tired. First day of school.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It went well. Pretty smooth first day. It's tough being back, in the grind, but nice to see my students and um, you know, I guess kind of be back in a schedule
Yeah, and
on
that's
one
always
hand.
good. No, well, that's good. And yeah, my day was crazy busy. Um,
Yeah, yeah, it was.
I had really no downtime today, but
Yeah, it was a busy day and happy birthday to my sister Kendall.
yes, happy
So
birthday, Kendall. Shout out to her.
not that she would listen to this. She
No,
has yet to go to a Union game. So
but no, busy weekend. We got another busy week coming up.
mhm.
And creeping up on episode 100.
Yeah, this is episode 99.
Yeah. Except for like one of those two bonus episodes, which do not count as not official,
They're non-canon.
non-canon episodes. But no, we got episode 100 coming up. But thought we'd just kind of put a bow on Leagues Cup today. Um, talk a little bit about news and just share some thoughts looking out now at the last 9 games of the regular season for the Union. Plus, talk about Union 2 winning today. So, before we get started, what are we wearing?
Well, it's been a while. I don't even know if I've worn it on the show, but I'm wearing my top from the United Soccer Coaches Convention, uh, that they were selling, back when we were at the one in Anaheim this year. I actually have one of the cups from that too, so which was a fun time. So,
It was.
yeah,
And I'm wearing the Join or Die t-shirt.
was a good one.
Yeah, I felt it was appropriate today,
Hmm.
just with everything that's happened in the last week. Because remember last week at this time, we were so hopeful and so happy and so just like, what, this is going to be good. But
Yeah.
it happens. But hey,
Speaking of what we're wearing, you want to know something funny too?
what?
So, last Wednesday when the Union played Columbus, we
Mhm.
had to wear a particular shirt, the teaching staff. It happened to be black and like a gold color, mostly like gold, but I was like, I don't like this color scheme today because we were playing Columbus and it's kind of in their colors, although they're more like yellow yellow. But anyway, the funny thing is we had to wear the same shirt today for the first day of school,
Mhm.
and the Union 2 were playing Columbus too, which I'm like, really? But when we went out to dinner for Kendall, I was wearing a dress that was in Union colors, and that was when the game was going on. So tried to like reverse the vibes there.
Yeah,
I'm superstitious sometimes.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
anyway, I mean, we had lucky jerseys.
Yes.
I don't even know if they could save us right now.
I mean, I brought it out for it was the Miami game, I
I
think.
think we both rocked them.
We rocked them for the Miami game because we were desperate and it
Yeah,
didn't work,
didn't work.
obviously. But
Mojo's gone. But where can people find us before we get started?
so you can find us on Twitter at TOTWAG. We are on Facebook and Instagram at the One Team We Agree On. You can find us on YouTube, at the One Team We Agree On. We have our website, the one team we agree on.com. And I have TikTok, Jillian underscore Almany.
Yeah. So first order, we have a little merchandise. We haven't talked about some merchandise in a while. Um, I guess the Kick Childhood Cancer kit has gotten leaked. I know Jose reported on it.
Hmm.
We saw it, and we're gonna share it here real quick. I want to get your thoughts. Now, this is the Portland one. Uh,
But you get the idea because
you
it's
get
going to
the
be the
idea.
same.
So, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, let's talk about the fact that at least last year and this year, the Kick Childhood Cancer shirts are in Union colors. Because
Yes.
because like yeah, because they wouldn't necessarily. I mean, that's the Portland one. But
No, but
I like that fact. First of all, I think it's cute. I like the like child like drawings on it and everything.
okay.
I
So
think.
this reminds me a lot of my Las Vegas socks. Just the chaotic, like
Hmm.
just the way it's all the lettering. I mean, it's nice. It's a
Hmm.
nice white kit with
Hmm.
just some pizzazz, I would like to say,
Yeah.
and it's just a nice little detail. I think they hit the theme that they're going for.
Hmm.
Obviously these are leaks, so we'll wait to see the official kit. But
Yep.
thank you, Dick's Sporting Goods, for
Yeah.
leaking. the childhood cancer kit. So yeah, I'll be fun. Okay, question: will you buy it?
Possibly. I know I have so many. And the thing is, like, I have the one from last year, and I think I've only worn it a couple times, you know.
Yeah.
So like I will say this, a lot of times when it's a dress down day at school, I'll
Mhm.
wear the union tops, like all the various ones, because a lot of times I can fit one of them in for whatever the dress down theme is. I can make it work, like one that was kind of neon. I was like, "Oh, neon day," you know.
Right.
Or so yeah, those are fun to wear. But I kind of am particular about what I wear to the games, I guess. Depends.
Yeah. No.
But I like it. I probably will buy. I might wait and see if they go on sale at some point though.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I thought last year's was really nice.
Yeah, I
I
like
I,
last
I
year's a
really
lot.
liked last year's. I think this one's a nice, like
Hmm.
last year's was just really really sharp. I mean, that was the one even I was like, ooh, that's really
Yeah.
sharp. So we'll see what the official one looks like, and see what it looks like in person. But
Yeah.
so just a couple things first. Um, Jose Martinez,
The deal is done.
done. 2 Corinthians.
Yeah.
Beautiful. One thing,
Yeah.
we've known this for a while, but beautiful. Just thank you from him. Thank you from the union.
Mhm.
Which shout out to the union. I thought that was a really class act. We didn't get to
Yeah.
see it for Julian. We see it for Jose. I'm just really really happy they did that.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, first of all, make sure you see the video that Jose put out.
Mhm.
And the one that and then the union posted today. I guess it'll be yesterday when you guys are listening to this, but they put that out. And it's funny because we were talking about, oh, are they gonna put a tribute video out for Jose?
How about I say 1,001? They probably won't, and they
And
had
then like literally right after you said that, it was out.
they're like, "Well, I hope you didn't put money down on that."
If you haven't seen it yet, maybe have some tissues if you're
Yeah,
someone like me, because I'll tell you what, it definitely had me like tearing up. It was really well done. So props to the team of the union who made that video. It was nice seeing like the old clips, when he got the bloody nose and
mhm.
just all his different moments. So yeah. Yeah, thank you, Brujo, for everything you gave the city. What a fit in Philly. And we talked already quite a bit about this, but just like now it's like, yeah, it's a done deal. But
Hey,
I hope he gets to go to the Eagles game.
mhm. There you go.
Yeah.
I'd love to see if he does. I'm sure we'll be following on his, Instagram and all that. I'm sure maybe he's even, like, talking to some players, who knows?
Yes.
But,
I doubt they'll wear green because of it's like what red is
mhm.
to the Union, I guess. But
And then, some other news, Damian Lowe seems to be out of town, and this actually
yep.
we'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, so he looks like he's heading to Saudi
Yeah,
Arabia.
he's there because I saw on his Instagram
Yep.
story him flying into Saudi Arabia.
So, Jim talked about it a little bit last night. It just sounds like, his contract was up.
Hmm.
He wanted, some more, to get his family secure. You only get one career.
Yeah, and listen, there's some people that are like, "Oh, the Union are selling another player and there's no depth and blah 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 blah." Let's be real though. I mean, listen, I love Damien. I
Mhm.
thought, I liked him a lot. Um, and here's the thing though, he's about like 31 years old and he was probably going to be gone in the winter.
Well,
Might not have gotten anything for.
I guess my question is, would the union have matched what he was asking? And we don't know what he was asking.
Yeah.
We don't know his financial details. So,
Mhm.
but again, money's up.
Union
And
got something for him.
you get something. We'll wait to hear the
We don't
official
know yet.
words. We've seen it out there. I think Tom posted it. I know we've seen a couple other people talk about it.
Yeah, like we've heard some things, but
Yeah, we're not gonna say what it is until we actually see what the final numbers look like. But beyond that, um, hey, he was good. I think he brought some really good moments. I enjoyed him. I enjoyed
mhm.
listening to him in the mix zone when he talked,
Yeah.
getting to talk to him, interview him a couple of times, ask him questions. I thought those were he was a good player. You had the
Mhm.
relationship with Andre. But
Yeah.
before but at the end of the day, like you said, he's 31. and it's probably not coming back.
Yeah.
So you need to do a little bit of business. They're setting themselves up for this winter transfer. And I'm starting to feel more and more, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit. But I mean, at the end of the day, hey, good job. It's a win on both sides. So,
Yeah, wish
uh,
them all the best, and
absolutely. And
yeah.
it's crazy. I mean, Joaquim Torres is on loan, Perez in New York City, and now Lowe's going to Saudi Arabia. I mean, people that want to put an onus on, are we bringing in people? I mean, that winter group that we last year at this in the winter transfer window, we were like all excited, like
You know what they need to do?
what?
Bring back Stu. Bring back Stu.
Nah,
No, but, in reality, I think well, first of all, um, you have Makanya, okay? Will he get a chance? I don't know. I feel like Jim would go
I think
Nate Harriel at center back.
I think so too, and I think at this point, and again, this is pure speculation. I think at this point, the best, if it's not working out after a year, maybe you loan him out. Maybe you try to figure out
Mhm.
what to do with him because obviously he needs to start playing some real minutes. Now,
Yeah. I'd kind of like to see him get a chance, but I also
I think I
mm,
don't think that's going to happen. And
no.
again, purely speculating.
Or do you see Neil Pierre getting
I'm starting to wonder if that might be
a chance?
again purely speculating. I don't know. I think there is a window starting to come for Neil Pierre. I really
Neil's the
do.
real deal. Like I really
I
like what
mean,
I've seen.
you and I know people said, "Well, can we bring back Brandon Craig?" Well, Brandon Craig has a no
I,
loan back
I feel
policy,
like
so
that
he
bridge has been burned
and
too.
and we'll see what happens there too. Maybe they bring him back, but
I
again,
mean, his brother's still in
yeah, I mean,
the academy.
but again, if he hasn't made this point, do you really think he's coming back? Who knows? I
Yeah,
think at the end of the day, the union are making it clear they're stockpiling options for the winner.
yeah.
So
It's gonna be an interesting winter.
yeah. And then moving on. So let's talk a little bit about the Colorado game. You were there
So
on
for
Friday.
Saturday.
Well, no, yeah, Saturday, sorry.
Yeah, Saturday I went to training. So did Todd Lewis. Both of us went to the training, and we were at the presser. So um we got to ask a bunch of questions at the
Hmm.
presser. And of course I asked about Danley, what Jim thought about Danley's performance. I would have asked it post game after um yeah, after Columbus, but I did not have the opportunity. However, but no, I wanted to see what he thought, and he was positive. Obviously Danley's still getting in shape, but it's encouraging how he's doing. And I thought he did, fine, of course, against Colorado. But
Yeah.
of course, of course, um, Danley went and collided with Glesnes.
Yeah.
That was not so good, but no, he had a lot of good stuff. Asked about the significance of getting the third place berth, which if the third place and getting the berth in CCC, which obviously they didn't get, which is a bummer. But I appreciated Jim talking, especially about how, and Quinn as well, because Jim and Quinn both spoke. I appreciated hearing like the significance to both of them, and Jim explained too, like how it's a big deal, like this kind of thing in Europe, and Americans don't necessarily get it as much yet.
No, and like I said last episode, I think getting that third um bid right now would have been at bare minimum a win.
Yeah.
Um because you have that and we've seen it, and I know multiple people in this community have talked about it,
Mhm.
that the union Jim's spoken on, players have, that's playing in these competitions, I know Ali even talked about it,
Mhm.
are so vital. Um
Yeah.
and to have that opportunity on that stage. So at the end of the day, knowing what we know now, it's very disappointing that the union do fall short. And I'm sure if you're listening, you're feeling disappointed too. I mean, at the bare minimum, they need to get that berth. They
Yeah,
had
you
it.
thought, you think at home, and I mean Colorado's been doing pretty well, but
Yeah.
I mean like, you felt like there was a good chance the Union could come away with that. But anyway, before we get too much into that,
Yeah, so let's talk anything
um,
else.
and I asked Jim about Keegan Rosenberry. Of course, Keegan hails from my hometown of Lancaster, and Lancaster Mennonite grad. And yeah, I just wanted to ask him because, of course, Keegan played at the Union,
Mhm.
and Jim, worked with him. So Jim had lots of nice things to say, of course. And I also talked to Allie. Yeah, Todd and I talked to Allie about Keegan as well. So of course, Keegan is the captain for Colorado. So yeah, they
And
spoke highly of his character and everything. And
everything I've
yeah.
heard about the man is he was a great captain. He for Colorado. And even just a great player, when he was at the Union,
Mhm.
just a great person, and that's what I was trying to get with.
Yeah.
Um, but no, it was kind of cool just to see that. I know we were thinking of talking post match, if possible. I don't think it was going to happen, but
I know he had lots of family there. I saw like lots of
yeah,
family members.
saw Jack and him walking after the match. But no, it was good to see Keegan, and he definitely played a solid game for Colorado. But I mean, let's get to the game at hand, the third place game.
Yeah.
Coming off, and I know Allie talked about it, as bad as that Columbus. Some people think that Columbus performance was.
They didn't play that bad, but they got
They
outclassed.
they got outclassed. That was the bottom line,
Like, Union weren't awful, but Columbus was just better.
and you kind of saw that again last night, even against the LAFC, who spends money.
I mean, yeah, LAFC, we like to say they got bailed at the end.
Yeah, so I mean,
Honestly, can I say I took great pleasure in seeing LAFC
just
lose in the last like dying
well,
seconds
they
of the
didn't just
game?
lose; they got destroyed
Well, because
by.
they got that second goal like right away after. But I took pleasure that I know other people did as well. But uh, you know, yeah, it just would have been nice to have tie against Columbus to see what may have been,
I don't know
but
even then if he makes a difference,
maybe not, but
but
we won't know
but
because
again, that's
that
speculation.
mhm,
But it would have been maybe something different. So anyway, getting on to the match, we headed down yesterday, and
yeah.
I mean, it was nice. It
It was
was
dead there.
it it was dead.
I mean, the
Let's share
third
some
place
pictures.
match last year against Monterey was not like super crowd, but there wasn't the protest either going on. So there were
No.
more people that were opted in to Leagues Cup. So but yeah, so we went to, Union Yards for a bit, was watching the Phillies game,
Yeah.
which Phillies won, and they won tonight as well. Very happy with the walk-off brace. Right before we started recording this, the Phillies had just had their walk-off, so that put me in a very good mood.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's just a little for more. But I was actually sitting down on the one side talking to Mike Barrera. I
Mhm.
took that picture. So, yeah,
Really nice
some more.
picture. It just really was a beautiful day. And I
Uh-huh.
thought I've said that to a couple people. This is a picture I took from the press box. It was just great
You
looking
can see
out.
how empty it is.
Yeah, this is Reyes, they're getting ready to kick off. And it's just a beautiful day.
It was.
And even at the river
4:30
end,
game. Yeah.
I thought it was nice. I thought the river end did good.
Yeah. So
Third place! Third
This is the
place!
third.
yeah, just play that for the people.
Place! Third place! Third place! Third place!
Yeah. Also, shout out to Caden and Chad in front of me there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that yeah, we had a lot of chants going on there. Like, um, yeah, like with third place chants and stuff, and whatnot. And then of course there were some more colorful things that were said. But yeah, there's another one too.
I
But
didn't get
oh,
that.
you didn't get that one. Okay. Well,
This
okay.
is a good
All
picture.
right. So I took this picture at the end of the game. As we all know, Union lost in the PKs. And Bizo took the last one and missed. He had,
It,
of course, been the hero at one of the League's Cup games last year in the PKs and had the winning one. And he hit the crossbar on his um
mhm.
and sorry, but he stood there like like for a little while, just like right as he's pictured here, just standing there. And I felt bad for the guy because like I said last night, aside from that missed shot. I thought he played pretty well, and I thought overall he had a good Leagues Cup. He really had good play.
We'll talk about that in a minute,
Yeah.
but just some thoughts. I mean, again, first, Ty Baribo.
Yeah.
What can we say about him?
Another brace.
Yeah, another brace. 13 goals, 13 games for the Union.
You got the golden boot for the tournament.
He gets the golden boot in playing one less game.
Yeah.
I mean, just seeing that.
More
I
goals
thought,
than Denny Bouanga.
yeah, I mean, the quality you're seeing, and so I kept seeing, especially after the brace, people saying, what if we had him with Carranza? What if we had him last year?
What if,
Those are
what
all
if?
what ifs, and I
Mhm.
get it. As people covering the team as fans, they're fair questions.
Yeah.
But again, I think we need to live in the here and now and think and appreciate this, because after that second goal, I turned to Todd and I said, what are the likelihoods that some team back in Europe says, oh man, he keeps us
Mhm.
up? Oh man,
Like, we just
hey,
lost Carranza. Don't take Ty from Ty's been an
Union,
exciting bright
what
spot.
what would you do? We throw a couple million at you.
Now, if the price is right, but listen, Ty has been, with all the crap that has come this season, Ty has been a bright spot. Like,
Yes.
really, it's been great to see. And
And I really
yeah.
want to talk about that second goal, because that second
Yeah.
goal is my favorite goal of the season. I know Todd Lewis clipped in. I think Jose did
Mhm.
as well, so you can go check them out there. But the ball in from
Mhm.
Mikel,
Mhm.
cross the 18 into Kai. Kai heads it back over
Mhm.
to Ty, and Ty knocks it in.
I thought that was the first goal.
Is that the first or second?
It was the first one. I
It
think.
was?
The one that Kai headed and then Ty headed in.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm
I
getting my
love
goals.
that goal. I
I'm
love,
getting
yeah, because
my
I'm
goals
so I'm like, the
mixed
second one
up.
was good, but well, whichever it was. It was the header from Kai. Yeah, yeah. I loved that goal.
That was my favorite goal so far this year.
Incredible.
And that was after just a missed tackle by Leon, which again, I thought he played fine on the day.
Mm-hmm.
You just hate to see it. Ball bounces the wrong way. Union get up and Colorado plays. And that's one of those goals where you're like, that sucks. Because for the first 45, I thought the Union were outplaying Colorado. They looked
Yeah.
good. They score that second goal, and you're like, okay, they'll probably get another one, or you hope they got another one.
Yeah.
And, and you felt good going in half, because I even said, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I felt good. They were in control. And then come out the second half, and Jim said it, they were just poor. I felt like, Colorado was playing desperate, and Union just didn't match the intensity.
Mm-mm.
Clearance should have been better. Bad clearance, ball gets knocked in, and you're just like,
Yeah.
that was one of the things of, oh man, you could have been a little bit better on defense again, and they made you pay, and you feel for them. And then, Jim makes these subs, and you're thinking, and even then, I was kind of like, did you really need to take out Bueno? He was playing really, really well,
Yeah.
and no one asked him. I should have asked that question, but I didn't understand that one, or at least move him up. I don't
Yeah.
know if Allie, I understand you wanted leadership out there and that grind out,
LA's like offense has been pretty good. He's actually like
but
his
his legs are
defense has
going.
been.
His legs are going. He's towards the end, and as much as I love his leadership, I I don't know how much more he has left in the tank. Do you bring him back for a year? Maybe. Maybe you bring him back and
Mhm.
just have him there as a bench presence for one more year. I don't know. You can comment below, but we go PKs, and
By the way,
um
that second goal, did you think it was offsides, that second goal from Colorado?
I think it was close,
It
and
was,
I don't know if they had enough evidence to
yeah,
overturn
it
it.
definitely was
It
close.
was one of those things where you could say, should have, could
They
have,
didn't
but
even
I think
check
we
it.
missed the important part that the Union did not clear the ball.
No. You know what's frustrating too?
Mm.
Zach Steffen, like, he every single time it seemed like that he took like a goal kick, something. He'd like the ball got turned over like right away and Union had it. Like he was not that good on that.
And there was even some of the saves. Like I thought Andre was much more clear with some of the play. Look, Zach Simon's whole knock is he's not a good shot blocker.
Yeah.
And now he goes in PKs and has like blocks the first two, and you're like, oh great, but
And of course he's the goalkeeping hero because of those block. He got like goalkeeper of the tournament. It's like,
whatever.
I mean, whatever. I think Andre collectively was better in the tournament, but it's because he made those. I mean, if you're talking phenomenal saves,
I mean,
Andre.
Zach Steffen's a good keeper.
But he came up big in PKs against, in like 3 games in a row. So I mean, credit, but
credit where credit's due. Colorado moves on. I think at the end of the day, if you're a fan, you hear people saying, well, we're back to the Leagues Cup. I mean, you didn't get it. I mean, even Jim said, they just didn't get the job done. It's a failure. And, I know I had them out in round of 16. And
made it farther than I thought they were gonna.
They did, but at the end of the day,
they come up empty-handed.
They still come up empty-handed, which is not good enough. And I know there's a lot of fans out there right now that are still upset. And realistically, one of the other funny things was I've seen a lot of people saying, well, the way the season's going today, I guess we're going to see the Union Opens Cup. Yay.
People get what they want.
Well, but I remember Don Garber, and somebody listening to this, please quote me, because there was a comment on Don Garber's state of the MLS. And I went back and looked at this about the teams participating. There were teams that participated with their second team. Remember that?
Yeah.
Not their first team. So people saying, well, the Union are going to participate next year. Are we going to get the second team? Are we going to get Union 2? I mean, that's the question I'm asking everybody out there. So if you're listening, comment. I mean, they're and Jose Todd, you're listening too. So maybe you can correct me. But I mean, yeah, sure. Maybe the Union do get Open Cup next year, but we're still gonna have Open Cup and Leagues Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, Leagues Cup's not going away. So, having said all that, the positives.
Well, tie for one.
Tie for one.
7 goals in the tournament. Like I said, it could have been more. But he gets the golden boot. And of course, I was following the final with Columbus and LAFC, thinking, okay, just don't want Rossi or Bouanga scoring. But so good for Ty. And I feel like, Andre had some tremendous saves. I mean, Andre was being Andre, and the Union started to pick up momentum and kind of turn things around at the very, like the last regular season game. They're starting to like turn around, and Leagues Cup, I think, gave them some confidence and some momentum. They kept it going and weren't sitting idle during this time. So like, well, of course, Red Bulls have, and we're against them. So against them this weekend. But I think definitely it was a chance for them to get the momentum going. And we're gonna have some incredible moments, like, Jose Martinez's last game, that the shootout with Mazatlan. There's gonna be some great moments. The tremendous play against Cincy. That was one of the best. So I'm also kind of relieved, though, that Leagues Cup is done and maybe we can get back to some normalcy with just the fan base. But I had fun at Leagues Cup, okay?
I mean, so for me, I think Ty was a bright spot. Continued staying hot.
Yeah.
And that's good. And hopefully these last 9 games, Union are going to need them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought Bizo
good tournament.
had a very good tournament. I thought he was consistent, and he didn't get cooked like we always.
He didn't get cooked, really. Yeah, I mean, there's always moments, but
my only concern there is, he misses that PK, and he's so it's just his confidence. Will he bounce back? Because with low down now, you're throwing Harrio in there, so you could throw Harrio and put Bizo out and right back. You're going to need to see that consistent play if the Union are going to do anything.
Yeah, and back to the PKs for a second too. Okay. Daniel Gazdag.
I mean, yeah, 1 for 5 now on PKs. As good as he's been in
Like ones in regulation, just the regular.
well, PKs, but in PK shootouts, he's
Yep.
1 for 5. And we win the one against Massillon, and guess what?
He had been subbed out, so he was not taking
Yeah.
the PK. And I'm gonna say, like, I was kind of relieved that we weren't gonna have to worry about that. But like, I think ever since the MLS Cup, it's just him. And I know I think he has made one
Mhm.
in a shootout since, but I know he's missed a bunch. He missed against Cruz Azul. He missed in one of the League's Cup games last year. I know that. And he's been good from the spot in regulation, except for it was Orlando when he had two and he
Mhm.
made the first one and he missed the second one. But like, I think it's just something mental going on, or I
Well,
don't
it's
know
all
what.
mental.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something that
Maybe don't have him go first. I don't know.
that's a very good point. I just really think that, you know, it's that, and I know he wants to get out there, and Jim kind of mentioned that a little
Yeah,
bit. That he's done a lot. That he carries a lot of the
he
load,
does.
and so yeah, Jim was kind of non-committal. I'm sure they'll talk about it, but that is a concerning stat. Having said all that, again, you shouldn't have been in there in the first place.
Yeah. It was a bummer that some of the guys that were taken out, that could have been PK takers
We
too.
saw Bueno sitting there with his head down.
Yeah.
He wasn't even standing. He was upset, and rightfully so. I mean,
Yeah.
as much success as he's had, even as much as the last home game, hitting the game winner. It's like,
Yeah. On a positive note, Jack Elliott's been very good on these.
yeah,
So
yeah,
good
it's
for Jack.
good for Jack.
It was his birthday too, so yeah.
But and then Andre, like you said, just being that stalwart, and even in the last two games, he's been
Mhm.
back there bringing that defensive, at least keeping him somewhat compact. But you brought up a good point about the confidence. It's going to be interesting to see how they respond now with these 9 games, because they had a lot, and is it still there? Maybe, but there's also a world where that confidence isn't there after those 2 games. So,
Yeah, the game against Columbus on Wednesday is going to be a good test.
it will be. And for those that are like, I hope Columbus is hungover, including I think Jim and some of the
I
players,
said that. I hope that they're hungover.
and some other people apparently said it. I don't know. I don't care. I hope Columbus comes out firing red hot and somehow the Union beat them, because that's the easiest way to get the momentum back. But um, those are my positives. So, let's we got a couple things as we wrap up here. Next thing I want to talk about is, let's look at the schedule. So here's the schedule. This is my prediction sheet. Um, we're at Columbus. By the way, yes, I did have Colorado as a loss. Just because just the way Colorado's playing. I
Mhm.
just had a gut feeling. So sorry. um,
Well, technically it was a draw and
yeah.
then loss in PKs.
Yeah, so I mean, you look at that, Union's only had 1 loss, but I got a couple draws coming up. This is my early season prediction. We're at Columbus. I mean, home of Columbus, at Red Bull, at Miami, which
It's a gauntlet coming up.
Messi could potentially be back at
Of course.
NYCFC. But again, Messi could be back soon. Apparently, he's going to be back sometime in September, so we'll see. Maybe he's back, maybe he's not. Um, DC, I mean, you hope Union can win that one. Atlanta, you hope they can win that one. Then they're at Orlando, Columbus, and then they're home in Cincinnati.
Yep.
Which I actually feel pretty good about that one. But I think the
Uh-huh.
reality of the situation is, you look at the Union,
Mhm.
You're gonna have to go through Murder's Row pretty much just to
Mhm.
get to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not gonna be
So,
easy. And of course they don't have Brujo anymore
eh,
and less depth at center back. So, you know,
I mean,
we'll see.
I think at the end of the day, you just gotta go out and play soccer and do what you gotta do. I mean, and let the chips where they may, because like I said earlier, the Union are obviously getting money. They can sign players, they can buy players, you name it. for this winter. And Todd brought up an interesting point. You were sitting there. Are the Union punting on the season? And it's a very good point that maybe they are. Maybe they got some offers that they weren't expecting, and they're just like, you know what? Let's go for it. And we'll see what we do, but we're kind of retooling for next year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're punting on the season, but I mean, if they would sell any more of like the, really important pieces here, then I would say yeah. But
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm just asking. I would love to hear your guys' opinion. I still think they're going to give 110%. I'm not talking about they're
no,
tanking. I'm just saying, is the sporting director's thoughts now? Is Ernst's thoughts like, hey,
they're
this
just
is
like a selling team, and they're just
we're just going to sell right now, see how the season goes. Maybe we get lucky and make a run. I mean, it's a really good thought in the back of my head. It's been kind of in my back of my head since we sold Brujo, because it's like, yeah, well, it's a good business. Why'd you make that move when you started having momentum? So
yeah, the timing was unfortunate.
it was, but again, I shouldn't even say that, but
Yeah.
it's the truth.
Another positive.
Mhm.
Well, tonight Union 2.
Well, before we talk about you
Yeah.
two, let's talk about this.
Okay.
And I want to ask everybody out there: 9 games left. Do you make the playoffs?
I think it's a very good chance. Um, as long as they don't have like a horrible run like they did earlier. And of course, if they get a little help from some of the
Mhm.
other teams, I think it's very realistic. They definitely could get in there because they're not far off. And so if they can play like they did against Cincinnati in these games coming up, anything's possible.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I still think they make the playoffs, and people are like, "Oh my gosh." Yeah, I think they make the
I
playoffs. I
think
mean,
they do too. I hope I'm correct. I
I hope
you're
I'm correct too, but I think they make the playoffs. I think as long as they stay healthy, avoid red cards, um, and maybe get a couple bounces here and there, they make the playoffs. They get in there, maybe they make a little noise, but
Mhm.
you go as far as you can right now, and I think that's what it is. Who knows? You get some teams stumbling here off the break, you catch a couple teams,
Yeah.
and you set yourself up. Do I think they get one of those at large CCC berths? I mean, I was looking at the breakdown today. It's going to be really hard. I mean, they'd have to make a push.
Yeah.
They'd have to get some luck on the Open Cup, who wins the MLS Cup. I mean, it
Yeah.
just would have to be a lot of varying factors. And even then, it's still an uphill ground.
So
So
we'll see.
we'll see. But yeah, let's talk about Union 2.
Yeah, so they had a home match against Columbus Crew 2. Unfortunately, we couldn't go to that because too much going on. But yeah, so Kevin was the big story, of
Yeah, I
course.
had that banger and a PK win.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a golazo. If you have not seen it, go on and see it. It's from outside the box, and he just bangs that home, I think in the 29th minute. So they were up 1-0, and then it was like a little bit into the second half. They
Mhm.
gave up a goal. By the way, Andrew Rick was back.
That's good to see.
Yeah, so he was back. And then I mean, it was never really disclosed where he, was going on. I think he was dealing with some injury or, illness or different things going on there. You know, what we don't know is going on. Just like he was dealing with stuff. I don't know.
Mhm.
So, um, but
I know. I know. We actually did.
no, just like speculating. I
I'm
don't
just
know.
laughing because people kept like DMing me. Do you know what's
Oh,
going on with Rick? Because you guys
yeah.
you too. I'm like, no.
No, like we never like heard like for sure what it was, but
No.
like just kind of speculating, oh, I think he might have like had an injury or something, or I don't know.
We don't know.
Don't know. Anyway, so but he was back and he made big save in the PKs. So for those who aren't aware, if it's a draw in MLS Next Pro, they go to a PK shootout to determine who gets the extra point. Um, and so they, yeah, the Union 2 ended up winning on the PK shootout. Cavan had the winner on the shootout, actually. So,
Yeah.
so he had a big day, and you had um, pretty good lineup in there. I mean, CJ actually missed his shot. He
Yeah.
was I think he was the only one that missed. And one of the Columbus players missed. on his, like skied it or whatever, and then Rick saved one. So um but yeah, like I know Frankie took a PK, he made his, and who else did I think Neil took one, Neil Pierre took one. There was a great picture, by the way. Oh, and Jameer Johnson took one. So yeah, so like there was a great picture after Cavan scored of Neil. I know I sent you. Did you put that on there? Um After Cavan scored, and it's funny, I just thought it was a great shot. There it is. Look how tall. Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Just look at the height difference. I mean, Neil Pierre is tall. Move the window there. There you go. Okay. Neil Pierre is so tall. Look how much Cavan doesn't even come up to his shoulders. Like, I just thought that's funny. And
It's a
so
good picture.
it's a great picture though. But good for Cavan, good for the team. You had Makanya and Neil in the back there. You had CJ in there, Verdesio and Perion. Like, I mean, they had a strong lineup. Eddie played,
Mhm.
Sal started. Kellen earned the start, I
Yeah, I
think. I
saw
mean,
that.
after Brace, yeah, Kellen got the start. So yeah, it was a strong lineup and
I
good
thought
for
it was
them.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
no, I
great
mean,
game.
it's good to see them bounce back after
Yeah.
this kind of tough stretch.
Yeah, so they're tied with Cincinnati 2 in points, but they're listed as second in the standings because of like they've basically lost to Cincy every time. So the tiebreaker there. But yeah, it's great to see from them, and hopefully they can keep that going.
Yeah, so let's because we're getting down to there. They
Yeah.
have 5 games left. I mean, you look at their schedule right now.
Yeah.
You know, they got the Carolina core
Mm-hmm.
coming up, and then they're at Miami 2, NYCFC 2, Atlanta 2, and then Chicago 2. So they got some good teams coming up, some good, playoff teams. And then they got like Carolina and Atlanta, but again, anything can happen. But
Yeah, I know
five
the next one we'd be able to go to is the Atlanta one, which the Union, like
plays.
first team play the Atlanta that weekend too, like on Saturday, and Union 2 play Sunday. So hopefully you get some good crowd there. You guys
Yeah,
out.
yeah. So I mean it's encouraging. So
Yeah.
I'm going down Thursday, gonna talk to Marlon and a couple other players and
Yeah.
just kind of get their thoughts on that. And then I know
I'm gonna go Friday for first team.
and yeah, and you'll be down there on Wednesday too for the game
Yeah, I'm
because
going to Columbus
I got
game. Yep.
coaching. So yeah, I mean we got some things. I mean, season's kind of starting to wind down and but Union 1 and 2 got business to take care of. So
Yep.
I mean, so anyway, stay tuned. Episode 100's just an episode
I
away.
can't believe we've come this far.
I can't believe we're still doing this, but
But
hey,
it's been great. And I'll tell you what, I
again,
was reflecting so much yesterday, my last day of summer. What an incredible summer.
yeah, and shout out to you. I mean, Leagues Cup, you really found your voice. I mean, I would say you found your voice prior to Leagues Cup, but man, you really came on during Leagues Cup.
Well, thank you.
Uh, I think the timing was right. You got down there a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and you really built the relationships with a lot of people. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm just really, really proud of you. And it's just we got a good thing going, guys. And so if you're listening and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We don't ask a lot. It would be great. But if not, keep listening, keep spreading the word about us. We'd love to
Mm-hmm.
hear from you. Check out our website too. But anyway, so we'll be back with episode 100, and we got some fun things lined up after this busy week for the Union because they got a bye week and then they don't play for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
International play coming. Shout out to Giovanni Sequeira. He got called up to the Venezuela national
yeah, he
team.
did. Yeah,
So he's on Union 2. He's a loanee from them. So
it'll be interesting to see
yeah.
see if he gets some playing time. So that's all for this episode. The One Team We Agree On.
Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and leave comments because we love hearing from you. Like Kyle just said, spread the word. Yeah, let us know if you have any ideas for anything as well.
Yeah, and until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
See you at the game.